Okay, let's dive in. We got this collection of materials here, video breakdowns, wiki pages, all focused on one character's, well, pretty epic journey.
Right, and what really jumps out, I think, is how this warrior is just fundamentally shaped by pride. It's the core of everything.
Absolutely. So our mission today for this deep dive is tracing that path, from this ruthless space tyrant to the complex anti-hero we know now.
And really getting into his latest transformation, Ultra Ego, and the whole philosophy behind it. It's quite a ride.
It really is, and it starts somewhere incredibly dark, doesn't it? His arrival on Earth, Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans.
Oh, yeah. Back then, pure arrogance, just absolute cruelty. He'd been conquering planets and Earth, just another rock, basically. The people meant nothing.
Insignificant, and his power level was just staggering compared to these Z-fighters at the time.
Completely overwhelming. His goal was simple. Kill everyone, take the planet. All in the name of Saiyan pride, or what was left of it.
And you see that raw destructive power with the Great Ape transformation, too. It's such a brutal introduction.
It really sets the stage, though. As one source put it, the arc begins in the darkest corner of his pride. It's the foundation.
Which makes what happens next so interesting. He goes to Namek.
Yes, Namek, and that's where his whole worldview starts to, well, crumble a bit. Facing Frieza, that's a whole different level.
His pride just gets shattered again and again.
Constantly. And then the big one, he sees Goku transform, become a Super Saiyan.
The materials describe that as just this profound humiliation for him. It didn't just fuel the rivalry, it turned it into an absolute obsession.
Yeah, it became the driving force. And that moment before Frieza kills him, his plea to Goku, it's heartbreaking.
It really is. You suddenly see beneath the arrogance, right? There's this deep loyalty to his people, this cry for vengeance, for justice.
Exactly. That's the first real crack in the facade. The sources really nail this as the moment the seed of change is planted, his focus shifts.
From just conquering things.
To needing, absolutely needing to surpass Goku. That becomes the new outlet for all that pride.
So he comes back to Earth, laser-focused, and eventually, boom, Super Saiyan. Achieve how?
Through sheer willpower, stubborn pride, refusing to be left behind.
And this next phase, the Android Cell Buu sagas.
Yeah.
This is where he really becomes that complex anti-hero figure.
Definitely. He settles on Earth, which is still kind of wild to think about. Starts a family Bulma, Trunks. It's the slow, grudging walk towards something like heroism.
But that internal conflict is always there, isn't it? The need to beat Goku versus this lingering pull towards his old ruthless self.
Which leads directly to Majin Vegeta, falling under Babiti's spell willingly.
The sources frame that as this really desperate move, almost tragic, trying to claw back his evil edge, shed the humanity he sort of accidentally acquired.
Right, like he couldn't handle the change. Though Goku saw through it, didn't he? Said he was bluffing deep down.
And the proof is right there that moment he hugs Trunks. First time ever. Tells him he's proud, just shows something fundamental shifted.
Absolutely. The care was real. And then the ultimate proof, sacrificing himself against Majin Buu for his family, for Earth.
That solidified it.
Yeah.
His heart had changed. Even if the struggle continued, he fully became that iconic anti-hero, battling his own demons as much as any villain.
And during this period, you see his fighting style develop too. Very technical, very skilled.
But that rage, that arrogance, it can still trip him up sometimes, right?
Oh, for sure. But he's also incredibly smart. And that dark sense of humor.
Yeah. The comments about turning Android 18 into a toaster or calling Kid Buu a gifted speaker, it has this unique flavor.
It does. And his relationships deepen. He starts to show, grudging respect for Piccolo, even Gohan sometimes.
But the big one, the truly transformative one, has to be Bulma.
Oh, absolutely defining. You look back at Namek, she was scared stiff. He couldn't care less. Yamcha was the one worried.
But then things start to shift. Slowly.
Yeah.
Bulma dreams about him, she worries about him, nurses him back to health after that gravity room incident.
It's this slow burn, and it's funny how she's maybe the only person who can actually order him around.
He just kind of submits to her demands sometimes. It's wild.
Then the Android Cell Saga era. That was complicated. The sources mention it, starting as an affair, maybe a one-night stand, maybe a bit longer, leading to Trunks.
Lots of arguments back then. And he could be incredibly cold, calling her that foolish woman, Trunks, her blasted child. Ouch. Bulma even humiliates him publicly.
Future Trunks had a different perspective, didn't he? Saw it as passion and loneliness in his timeline, something that didn't last.
But the 7 years of peace before Buu, that changes everything. They're married, They have a life. He's clearly grown fond of his family.
The sources suggest he's actually fallen deeply in love by the Buu saga, even if he finds it embarrassing, like it's a weakness he's ashamed of.
But you see it so clearly. The hug for Trunks, the sacrifice, being willing to fuse permanently with Goku to avenge Bulma and Trunks when Buu kills them.
And Bulma forgiving him afterwards, that really cements their bond. Plus, his reaction when Goku offers old Kai those pictures of her. Pure Vegeta.
Hilarious.
Huh?
And protective. Then in Dragon Ball Super, it's just fully blossomed. Remember when Beerus slaps Bulma?
Oh yeah, his rage just explodes. He surpasses Goku in that instant. That moment really stands out in the materials.
You see his quiet grief over future Bulma's death, his real pride in her inventions.
And skipping the tournament prep to be there for Bulla's birth, that's huge for Vegeta.
It really is. And then, after losing to Jiren, actually crying, apologizing to Bulma for not protecting them, it's incredible growth.
And it's interesting, the sources note that part of his attraction might be because she's so strong-willed and overbearing. Apparently, those are qualities Saiyan males look for.
Huh. Well, whatever the reason, that relationship seems absolutely central to his entire evolution, from conqueror to protector.
It really drove it, I think. Which leads us into Dragon Ball Super and him consciously forging his own path to power.
Right, he doesn't just follow Goku anymore. He goes straight to Whis and Beerus for training.
And rejects the Super Saiyan God ritual. Goku took the shortcut, relatively speaking. Vegeta gets there through pure, relentless training, mastering God Ki through discipline.
Which leads to Super Saiyan Blue. And then, in the Tournament of Power, he unlocks Super Saiyan Blue Evolution.
Or Super Saiyan God SS Evolved, yeah. And the sources frame this as uniquely his. It's about control, technique, determination, very Vegeta, rather than Goku's more instinctual approach. It's the Prince of Destruction path.
This whole era shows so much maturity. He's committed to protecting Earth now, his home. Still pushing himself, but on his own terms.
The rivalry with Goku is still there, obviously. He hates being called second best.
Naturally.
But it feels friendlier, more competitive camaraderie than pure animosity. And you see him caring more openly about his extended family, too, like Tarbal and Bula.
And there's that sense of atonement, isn't there? For Namek, for the Saiyan race's past actions.
Definitely. You see it in his choices. Rejecting Beerus's offer to be a god of destruction candidate, refusing to rejoin Frieza. He has a moral code now.
Which makes his latest form, Ultra Ego, so incredibly fascinating.
Right. The name itself, Wagama no Gokui,
Yeah.
the secret of the self-indulgent, it's perfect.
And it comes directly from training with Beerus, learning God of destruction techniques. It requires that specific mindset.
The sources explicitly state it's the polar opposite of Ultra Instinct. Yin and Yang. UI is about emptying the self, dodging, reacting without thought.
Ultra Ego is pure indulgence in battle.
Yeah.
Embracing damage, taking hits.
Using the pain as fuel. And the look fits, doesn't it? Kind of based on Beerus, that Super Saiyan 3-ish vibe. No eyebrows, the purple hair and eyes, the fiery aura. It's intense.
And that core mechanic is just so Vegeta, drawing power directly from taking damage. He literally says that damage is nothing but fuel.
It taps right into that Saiyan battle lust, that pride. Stand your ground, take the hits, get stronger, hit back harder.
We saw him try it against Granola, initially overwhelming him, then deliberately taking hits to power up.
But maybe took too much damage in the end. Tried that huge destruction ball, but got taken down.
Then against Gas, even fighting alongside perfected Ultra Instinct Goku, still not enough.
And most recently, Black Frieza just wiped the floor with both of them in their ultimate forms. Shows the power ceiling keeps moving.
So Ultra Ego is incredibly potent. His strongest form, according to the materials, it even changes his Kai signature to a destroyer gods.
But it has clear weaknesses. That battle lust can make him reckless. And yeah, taking damage powers you up, but take too much. Well, you lose.
And maybe the biggest weakness, hinted at in the sources, is that its true peak might require abandoning morality completely.
Which is tough for the Vegeta we have now, right? He's developed that moral compass, so accessing that absolute peak might be an internal struggle itself.
It really feels like the perfect combination of his entire journey, though. A power born from pride and destruction, but channeled uniquely through him.
Exactly. Finding strength by leaning into his core nature, not by suppressing it.
What an incredible arc. Seriously, from that cold-blooded prince just looking for planets to crush,
Through all those internal battles, the rivalry, the slow shift towards protecting others.
to this warrior who draws power from the fight itself, from his own sheer ego.
Vegeta's story, laid out like this, is just a powerful look at Pride, competition, and finding your own way to improve, even if that way is, well, a bit destructive sometimes.
His evolution, especially with Ultra Ego, keeps pushing what we expect from these characters.
It really does. So maybe the question for you listening is, what does Vegeta's unique path, especially Ultra Ego, drawing power from struggle, embracing who you are, tell us about finding our own kind of strength or mastery, not just following the path someone else sets out.
Something to think about. If this deep dive into the Saiyan Prince's journey and his wild power-ups grabbed you, definitely keep exploring. Dragon Ball's world is huge. There's always more. Thanks for listening.